Alright everybody, this is Cycling is My Whole Life, aka Uncle Monkey. You can play Super Mario Bros. 3 World 3. This is the water world. One thing that I can say about this place is usually by this time I'd be skipping with the musical flute ahead. I'm not the biggest fan of water levels. Personally, they obstruct my movement a lot, even though you can move up and you can move down a lot. They obstruct my movements as I can't control how fast forward and how fast back you can go. It's not really that bad. It's not like of my own personal preference. There I almost hit that little fire shooting thing, so it's just like I said, it's out of my regular range of control, so I normally don't like playing the water levels. This video is a little bit longer. It is actually almost 20 minutes, and I don't know if it has something to do with my skill in the water, or if it has to do with just the levels getting longer. I did do something here at the end of this video as a special treat that I thought was kind of fun. Nothing really too fancy, but something just enough to change things up a bit. We've been watching regular gameplay, so I changed it up a little bit and thought it'd be a little bit more fun. So, this downward path I haven't gone in a long while, so kind of difficult for me to navigate through the musical notes. I kind of just skipped those last 2 coins just because I really just wanted to get out of there. It was getting kind of tough for me. So I'm playing also on a new TV today. I think it helps out a lot because the timing is a lot better synchronized with the control. So it helps a lot. So I'm hoping this video is a little bit more entertaining to watch, and it's not as, we'll just say, as slow in progression. I know I did say it took a little bit longer, but like I said, I don't know if it has to do with the water or if it has to do with my skill. But, you know, certain parts are going to move a lot faster just because of the new TV that I'm using. This TV isn't actually new. I didn't just buy it. It's actually an old television that I had laying around. I just decided to use that one because it has less external devices plugged into it. So it only has the surround sound and then my game playing device that I'm using. So very happy with the results. Things are looking pretty good. So this is one of the, I'm probably going to say this for every level. This is probably one of my least favorite levels here. The sinking and rising is already annoying enough as it is, and just having that Big Bertha, as I always called it, I don't know what its actual name is. I mean, it's just a large fish that can gobble you up. I've always called it Big Bertha, but then again, I've always called the big bullet launchers at the very end of World 8. I always call them Big Bertha as well. So, I mean, anyway, so, I just, after a point, I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to get through this level. It doesn't really bother me any that I'm actually not, using the power P, which allows the coins to be turned into blocks to avoid the large fish. I just wanted to get through it, so that's what you see me doing there at the end. This castle here, I'm normally really, really good at. I can run across, I can skip across everything. And I thought to myself, well, you know what? Maybe I'll go slow. And I ended up not going slow, and then I ended up just running into everything, and I don't know. I know which door it is. That's how I got through the castle so quickly. Most of the time, if you pick the wrong door, it just drops you into a pool of water, and you have to redo the level. So I'd rather just tell you, rather than you seeing me go through the same level 20 times just because it keeps knocking me down into the water. Just to keep the progression going. And I'm glad I did because of how long this level ended up taking me. So, alright, these hammers, as well, first you saw that I use a star. I kind of got tired of messing around with them. I kind of messed up a few times. It's just got kind of annoying. So I decided to use a star, get through the guys a little bit faster. I think by this point I started realizing that the game was taking a little bit longer than I had anticipated, and my skill wasn't as sharp as I wanted it to be. So I went ahead and just skipped a few things by not playing around as much. Here I thought it was absolutely crucial to play level 5 with a frog suit, and just to show how fast a frog suit can go, and to show that, you know, playing water levels is generally more fun with the frog suit. So by this point, I'm actually kind of ecstatic about playing in the water level. You can see me swimming around super fast, and jumping around in the frog suit. So a lot of people are probably wondering what's in that big question mark block. I kind of figured that it was going to be another frog suit, but then I thought to myself, how could it be a frog suit? You can't get into this warp zone or warp pipe because of the bubbles. So here it is, 3 1-ups, nothing super special. I was kind of bummed out myself. So we explored that area together new, because I didn't know that I could actually go down there, and turns out it was just 3 1-ups. So we don't need any more 1-ups, but that's okay. It's still kind of fun to navigate and explore something new. Here, I didn't want to skip above, so I went ahead and swimmed up a little bit, and there was nothing up there. So the level went pretty good. I was pretty happy with that. Sometimes I think to myself, I want to actually beat this whole game. Like, I don't know when the first frog suit you can get is. I think, if I remember correctly, the first frog suit you can get in the sand world at the very, very end in the secret area. Sometimes I think to myself, I actually want to beat the whole game just with the frog suit. And I think to myself, even if I beat it perfectly without, you know, with the state saves and load saves states, it won't show any of the mistakes, but I can pretty much make it through the whole game with the frog suit. I was wondering if I could actually do that. And even though, like, the first 2 worlds, I don't think necessarily require you to have any power other than being small, because I think you can beat the whole game small as well. So to me, it wouldn't seem like it would matter. You could beat it through the whole way with a frog suit, but I'm not entirely sure. That might be something for another playthrough. But for now, I'm actually going to go ahead and not try to beat the whole game with the frog suit from here on in. I just didn't think that it was going to be that entertaining to try to watch me struggle for maybe 40 minutes per world with the frog suit. So here, got to explore a little bit. I knew the life was there, and then I struggled a little bit earlier with this guy, this Latiku or Lakitu, however you pronounce it. He was starting to try to take me out a few times, so I had to skip ahead for fear of never progressing. Alright, right here is an area which only a certain player can get. As you can see, the bridge is actually switched back and forth. And it doesn't necessarily mean that only Luigi can get it, as far as I can remember, or only Mario can get it, as far as I can remember. I think all that matters is that you get the right sequence. Now, if your sequence is incorrect, and let's say you can't get to it, you can very easily just play the original Mario Brothers game with Luigi and actually switch turns. So let's say it's your turn when the bridges are up, so you can't get over there. So what you end up doing is you play the Super Mario Brothers game, and then you deliberately lose, and then it becomes their turn twice, or excuse me. Then you lose your... I don't know. Now that I think about it, I'm not sure. I know it works because I've done it before. You know what? Now that I say that, I'm going to go back and check and maybe say on the next video whether it works or it doesn't work. It's kind of difficult to remember. It was a long time ago with me and my brother, and I remember that it always used to bum me out. Oh, almost didn't make it there. It used to bum me out that he'd always end up getting it. Or I think it also matters who beats World 2. If whoever beats World 2 gets to start World 3, and I think that's how the bridges are up and down there. Anyway, that's beyond that. This point right here, actually I think I tried it probably about 7 or 8 times. I just was never happy with the result. Even though I did beat the level, I was not actually happy with the result. Finally, this is what I came up with. This is the only one that I was actually okay with. Still not happy. Left a lot of the enemies unkilled. Those enemies are very tricky to get. The Goombas, well, at least what they look like in the movie. Anyway, when they pull that rock out, if you're at the wrong moment, that rock will hit you, and they're constantly shooting them. I mean, you constantly bombarded here. I personally am not a big fan of that part of these guys, so I do my best to just try to avoid them. As you can see, I spend a lot of the time up in the clouds getting coins and such. Here I thought it'd be really fun to get the use a frog suit, because most of that castle is actually underwater. So I know that the first mushroom house here always provides a frog suit, at least as far as my experience has ever been. So all I really did was just went to this mushroom house, got the frog suit, and then head back. There is, and of course, that other mushroom house up there, and if you go further up on the screen and go right, you can see the other mushroom house, and I think those are random, but really I just wanted the frog suit just because we're in the water level, you gotta use a frog suit. So here I go, and I try to beat it as fast as I could. So watch me swim. Look at him go. One of Mario's awesome abilities is being able to hold his breath for very long periods of time underwater. Here I did get hit on purpose. I started swimming a little bit late, and that delayed me a little bit, but it's very difficult to beat with the frog suit. And then if I did beat it with the frog suit, then it would be very difficult to progress in the next level. So what I ended up doing is I ended up losing the frog suit on purpose, beating the castle boss, and then beating level 8 and 9, just the normal standard way. So here's another one. Here's another one of those levels, and this one didn't actually take me too many tries, as I remember correctly. It was more of I played it as a survivor. I didn't really want to like strategize. I didn't want to get the when the flowers come up with all the leaves, you can climb up the leaves. I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to do it as a survivor thing. Just go as fast as I could, avoid them as much as I could. Like this part right here it was, like I said, I could have climbed up to those posts up there. Could have moved faster too, but it wasn't about just moving fast and beating the level. It was also about being somewhat quick and avoiding the big fish. So that part, you could have gotten a few coins. I think it's kind of lame. You saw what it was. Everybody saw what it was. It's okay. Got the 1-up. Looks like didn't match all 3 stars, but that's okay. I'm not worried about how many lives I have. I have 37. I have definitely more than enough to continue. We're not even halfway through the game here. We're only in the 3rd world. We got 8 worlds total. When I finish World 4, and then we'll be halfway through, I'm pretty sure I'll have a decent amount of lives. If not, in World 7, I'll teach everybody this trick that I learned when I was younger. Nobody taught it to me. I learned it myself, about how you can get infinite amounts of lives in World 7. I think it's very useful in World 7 because it starts getting pretty difficult, and if you don't like getting game over, that it'll help you a lot. That's if anybody even plays this game anymore. I'm pretty sure people do. I do all the time. I like this game. So here what I did, this is one of the special treats that I decided to leave in for people. Right here is showing you certain glitches. I show you 2 different methods of glitching. What you do is you duck underneath that square and you just go all the way to the end there. There's nothing you can do except for wait for the timer to run out. It's kind of pointless, but I think it's one of those things where if you were playing on the regular Nintendo, you don't want to shut off your console or wait for the time to run out. So I just went ahead and just restarted, back there. Here's another one. And what you do is you slide underneath. I was going to do it right there, and then I started messing around while I was figuring out what I was going to do. Sometimes pressing down puts you down the warp pipe, so I don't want to do that. So here we go, slide underneath. Okay, here we go, slide underneath, grab that cube, and then what you do is right at the edge you press down, and it pulls you right through the warp to the side. And then you kind of disappear. And when you run back and forth, you run at normal speed, but like all the hit detection squares are there. So you can see that the fireballs still hit and bounce, but I'm not really doing anything. I'm just moving left and right. Sometimes I occasionally jump, but it doesn't make sense where I am. It's just very weird. So I thought it was kind of cool to leave in just to show everybody something that I've learned. Actually, these are actually things that I learned on my own. I'm sure people have described them out there in the internet world, YouTube world. But to me, this is just something I learned. I thought it was kind of fun, something different. And I didn't, let the time run out. That way we didn't have to actually sit and watch me go through it. So you can go to the right and go through the tube instantly. But I wanted to go to the left, explore a little bit, since I did show everybody the left. I didn't want anybody to say, hey, why didn't you go over there? Well, I want to actually go through. I want everybody to see, as much of the game as possible, as much of the game as I would like to, show. And this also, one of the nice things about it is it lets people see parts of the game, especially if they can never get their hands on it. Not everybody's as fortunate as we are. We, by my family. As fortunate as we are to have these kinds of possessions. So I'm putting this on YouTube, so at least someone who wasn't as fortunate as I am can enjoy them. I believe that it is good to do what you can for others when possible. Try to be as selfless as possible, and even though this right here isn't really very selfless, it's not really to flaunt or show off to anybody what I have. It's actually to provide a service to people. I know my sister, she doesn't have every video game system that I have, and she doesn't have other, even if she does have like an Xbox, she doesn't own certain games that she does like, but she can watch them on YouTube and let her kids watch them on YouTube and then actually share the experience that other people have shared. So I also want to thank the YouTube community for putting up those videos. I've already mentioned Zach Scott. He puts up videos, and they're great. It allows my sister and other people who are not fortunate enough to be able to buy lots and lots of video games an opportunity to view these video games. All right, thank you for letting me rant. I usually go on tangents like that. Anyway. Here, one of my special treats that I thought it was kind of special, kind of fun, was to beat this world with the frog suit. Really, there's not many more areas where I use the frog suit, so I thought it was kind of fun to use it here and kind of show off my skill a little bit on me beating this level with the frog suit. I thought it was kind of fun. I thought it was kind of cute. It was kind of funny how fast that he ran to jump to the chain. You can't run that fast with the frog suit, but apparently he could run that fast in chasing after for the princess. This battle was pretty difficult. I actually had to restart it twice right here, as you can see the little glitch. I beat her, I stomped on her twice, no problem, but it was that third time that was kind of difficult. I was kind of trying to do it quick, but then I ended up losing the frog suit, and I didn't want to do that. It's kind of cute that Mario's in that position holding the wand. Kind of like he's ready to land on his front flippers. So here's what I was mentioning about the Game Genie. Now, this specifically doesn't have a Game Genie, but here it says, "Oh me, oh my, you've been transformed. Shall I change you back with this wand?" I thought that was kind of cool. That's kind of like how the Game Genie was. Okay, so we got a musical block.